What do you call a man with no arms and no legs in a pile of leaves? Russell. So I went to the zoo the other day, and you might be thinking to yourself, the zoo? What the hell's a zoo? And I'll tell you what a zoo is. I'll tell you right now. It's like an animal museum, and you might be thinking to yourself, an animal museum? That's crazy. Where do they get all the animals from? And I'll tell you this right now. They get the animals from the native habitats, and you might be thinking to yourself, native habitats? And then I slap you in the head because obviously you're trying to make a dumbass joke, and I'm not going to sit here and just let you say these things to me because I get offended very easily. But then I apologize immediately because I'm not a violent person by nature, and I must have been having a bad day or something because I decided to smack you in the head, and then it just feels so bad to me. So anyways, let's talk about the zoo. A lot of people don't like the zoo. Why wouldn't you like the zoo? I like the zoo. It's a good place to go. You can go there and have a lot of fun. You can take your family. You can go check out the ostriches. We paid $5 a piece to feed ostriches, and they said, okay, you have to feed the ostrich with this salad fork and tongs, and then you give him this like piece of lettuce, and then he's like, the ostrich, he comes over, he's like, awk, awk, and then he wants the lettuce, and then you give it to him, and he pecks it out of your tongs, and then it like half of it falls on the ground because he pulled on it so hard that it tore, but also that it fell out of the tongs, and then you bend down to pick up the lettuce, and the ostrich pecks you in the head, and then you fall over. And that's what happened that day. It was a hard day for me. You know, I don't like to get pecked in the head by ostriches, but a lot of people, you know, would pay for the opportunity to get pecked in the head by an ostrich. I literally did pay to get pecked in the head by an ostrich, and they had to drag me out because if I stood up anymore, the ostrich would keep on pecking me. He was trying to peck me, and he was trying to stomp on me is what he was trying to do, but he was behind like a little metal bar. And I'm like, you stupid ostrich, you can't dare peck me because I'm a human being and you're just an ostrich. And I wanted to peck him back, but then I realized I didn't have a beak. And then I woke up because that was all a dream. I did go to the zoo though, and it was a lot of fun. They had a tiger there, and he was just pacing back and forth, as animals seem to do in the zoo. I don't know why. Animals just like to pace back and forth in the zoo. I guess because they're so bored because they got nothing to do. The tiger enclosure was actually bigger than the lion enclosure, and actually thinking back on it, the tiger enclosure wasn't really an enclosure. It was mostly just a tall fence, and I guess because tigers are heavy, they probably can't climb that well. But I would think they'd be able to climb a fence, especially when they didn't have like barbed wire on top. It didn't have any sort of like protective, like, you know how on like in prisons the fences will curve inward at the top, and then there'll be like barbed wire on the inside, and the inmates can't get out because that's just how it works. I would think that they would have that in like a tiger enclosure. Like you could just get out and terrorize the town. He'd be the tiger of Tahiti, and then people would lock their doors at night and take their pets in and wouldn't leave the... It's like when people bring their pets inside because they hear there's a mountain lion around, and then like you hear about your friends down the street, their dog got taken away by a mountain lion, and then they find the dog like 5 years later living with the mountain lion, and he's like, he thinks he's a mountain lion now, he grooms himself, and he like jumps off of cliffs and he breaks his paws because dogs can't climb like that. That's silly. Why would you even think a dog could do that? I don't know. Animals are crazy like that. It's like those videos of orangutans, they're best friends with puppies, or those videos of cattle that are raising tiger cubs or something like that. You know the videos I'm talking about. You all watch that stuff. You go on there and they've got like 5 million views, and then you go look at those weird Indian nursery rhymes like Johnny, Johnny, yes papa, eating sugar, no papa, and then it's like got weird CGI animation, and you're like, this is a very creepy video. And then you look at the views, and then you'll notice that the video has like 39 million views, and you're like, wow, that's a lot of views. And then you see another one, it's the same exact song with a different animation, and you're like, that one has 750 million views. That's almost 1 billion views. That's almost 1 view for every person on the planet. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, it could be that they play these YouTube videos in like kindergartens, nursery schools, and stuff like that. But I refuse to believe that because there's just so many of them, and they all have like over 100 million views. Gangnam Style, I believe, is the most viewed video on YouTube at the moment. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not certain about that. But it has over 1 billion views, and I thought that was a lot. But these weird Indian nursery rhymes, they have like, Jesus Christ, they have so many views. I don't get it. There must be like some sort of weird... you know what? I can't even speculate on this. There's just no rational explanation for it to me other than that it's either fixed or they just play these over and over again in the hopes that. But what really gets me is that there's not even that there's like so many views, but that there's so many of these videos. You can go. There's one channel that only does this video about Daddy Finger, where are you? You know, I was talking a little bit ago about how unlucky I am. It was the very last trash can. The very last trash can is the one that had the lock in it. And I'm guessing this one is the other one that doesn't have the lock in it. Nope. Could have known. I could have, should have, would have known, but I didn't because I'm a dumb boy. So anyways, going back to what I was talking about a second ago, these weird Indian videos. I just don't get it. I'd love an explanation. If any of you know anything about this. Oh, it was in the same fucking place. Of course it was. That's real fucking hilarious. Great. And it was the one that I checked the first time. That's fantastic. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, SparkleDart, why would I care about this? And trust me, it's weird. It's like, what? It's, I don't know. It's like when you learn something that doesn't make any sense, but it's just true. You don't understand. Bless me. I dare you to bless me. Do it. Bless me now. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for blessing my body. I don't know. I just want an explanation. That's really all I care about is understanding the finer intricacies of how this shit works. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm just a confused little boy. I'm hurt on the inside and my body is broken, and so is my soul. I don't know. It doesn't. It's. I'm not gonna prod too far into that because I don't want to reach a territory whereby I'm just talking about how sad I am and then you're like, well, Spark. Did I not go? I must not have healed myself. Okay, that's fine. We're going to fast track this because I don't really want to spend too much time here. I feel like this is a waste of my efforts. Okay, Mr. Man. Okay, let's go, buddy. What do you got for me? He zapped my enemies. Oh, he's going to do the same to me. That sounds kind of erotic if I... Oh, he's prancing. He's curtsying like a ballerina. That's adorable. All right, buddy. Voltorb, yeah, I got it. I understand how this works. I've been doing this all day, buddy. I know how to fight Pokemon. I don't know if you do too, but I know how to do it better. Sonic Boom. That sounds like a fun. It's like when Jack goes around. He's like rolling around real fast, spinning in the air, and making like he's going faster than the speed of sound is what a Sonic Boom is. Oh Jesus, I'm thinking about the hedgehogs now. What possible connection could I have between an aircraft's Sonic Boom and the hedgehog? I don't know. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. How could anybody explain this to me? It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm done being an idiot. So let's talk about paternity leave, okay? How does that sound? So some people feel like parents shouldn't deserve to take time off of work, and I'm like, well, when a woman has a child, like her hormones are going crazy, she's got postpartum depression, she wants to drown her baby in a bathtub and then throw its body into a forest or something like that, because I guess people do that and then they get away with it. They have huge trials where they go on trial and then there's a Lifetime movie made about it, and then Rob Lowe plays the not the defense attorney, the other guy. You know what, I'm gonna pretend like I'm not. Please stop. Could you please stop that? I don't want you to do that anymore. So please stop it right now. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm going to go this route with it. I'm going to make this... I was going to fast track it, but now I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to play it out because you deserve a show. You deserve a show, and I'm going to give you a show. So please just hold on to your socks and don't put them on the floor, because if you put them on the floor, the dog's going to come chew them up. That was a really dumb thing that I just said, wasn't it? I don't apologize, though. Alright, so I guess I'm just going to sit here and do this. This is going to be so much fun for you to watch. This is going to be such an experiment for me and you and me. No matter how we roll the dice, I'm sure you'll see. Oh, I got him! That's fantastic. Okay. Maybe it won't take as long as I thought. So let's talk about paternity leave. Some people think that women shouldn't be able to take paternity leave. There's such a thing as... Oh, that's maternity leave. Paternity leave is when a dad takes time off of work because his wife just had a child and he wants to spend some time with his child, but his work's like, no, you gotta sit here and send out the forms. Mr. Jones, are you fired? And I'm going to talk about you at the water cooler like you're trying to take time off of work. Even though I know you're expanding your family and you just want to spend some time with them before you're not allowed to do so anymore. Even though a lot of companies in this country let you do that, we're not a company that believes in paternity leave because we think that you should put in as much effort into our company as you put into your life and your household. And if you think that that's ridiculous, I guess maybe you're just working at the wrong corporation. So let me ask you right now, Mr. Jones, do you want to keep your job or do you want to get fired right now? And then he says, I want to keep my job, but I just want to spend some time with my new baby. We just we named him yesterday, even though he was born 4 days ago. I'm a little bit upset about that, I guess. Excuse me. I had something stuck in my throat. It was a toad, I guess. I don't know. And he's like, well, how about you just let me leave early today? And he's like, nope, we got some important things to do. I'm actually going to have to ask you to stay late. He's like, you're going to ask me to stay late? And the boss is like, yes, I'm going to ask you to stay late. Richard and Duncan, you can both leave now. Mr. Jones is going to stay here and take over your paperwork. And then he gives you this glare that lets you know that he is just punishing you for asking if you could have a day off. Even though you have vacation time, you feel like he should just give you a day off because... Could you please stop it? That's all I'm asking is for you to stop it. I don't know why that's so much to ask for, but apparently it is. You know, I don't like to be played for a schmuck, Mr. Raichu, if that's really your name, if that's your real name, buddy. But you planned me for a sucker. It doesn't bode well for me or for you. And you know what? I will kill you eventually. I will kill you eventually, and that's what that's what those weird, creepy, like, loner kids say in high school when they're watching all the jocks on the football field, having fun, laughing, being friends with one another. He's like, I will kill you eventually. He mutters that under his breath. And then a teacher hears him say that, and they're like, what did you just say? And he's like, I will spill the beans about the new strip mall being built downtown. And they're like, oh, really? That sounds great. I'd love to hear more about that because I live downtown and I would really love to have a strip mall because as it stands, I have to drive halfway across town to get any groceries. And he's like, oh, I was just making that up. That was a joke. And he's like, well, I'm a little bit upset that you would take me for, you would play me for like a fiddle and make me look like a fool in front of all my friends. And then he starts crying and stomping down the bleachers and it's very loud. And then the loner kid's sitting by himself, so you just see the teacher running away from him and crying. And it's very embarrassing for him, so he throws his hood on and then tightens his drawstrings and then runs away. But he doesn't run down the main way, he runs around the back way where he has to like run across the grass to get back to the school. Instead of taking just the path that leads right up to the school. And it takes him like an extra 2 minutes to get there. But everybody can still see him running across the field because there's no trees. I hope at this point you're wondering, what the fuck are you talking about, SparkleDart? I don't know, that's just... I don't know how to explain any of what I just said. When I'm concentrating on something, I just start talking, and it sounds ridiculous, and it's not even funny stuff. It's like really stupid, like what I was just saying there. It's like, yeah, that is really dumb. Why would you say that? It wasn't funny. I know you're trying to be funny, or you think you're trying to be funny, and let me tell you what, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to say things. I'm trying to fill time is what I'm trying to do. And you might be thinking to yourself, SparkleDart, Phil Time is a pretty cool name. Philip J. Time? Yeah, I know a guy named Philip J. Time back in high school. That's who I'm talking about, Philip J. Time. So Philip, if you're watching, you got a cool name. That's all I'm going to say, buddy. That's all I'm going to talk about. Anyways, I think that just about wraps it up for this episode. So thank you for watching, SparkleDart. Goodbye. Mwah.